On this week's 30-minute music marketing, why your music career really is a marathon and not a sprint.
Cue title sequence.
30-minute music marketing for musicians who want to get better at marketing their music.
Hi, I'm Greg.
Hello, I'm Sheldon, and this is 30-minute music marketing, the show for independent artists and DIY musicians who want to get better at marketing their music. Thanks very much for watching this particular episode or listening to it on those there podcasts. Do remember, if you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe, click the bell, whatever
Smash
that is.
the button.
And if you're listening to this on a podcast platform, why not give us a review and subscribe so each and every episode comes into your inbox or however it reaches your ears. Thanks very much for listening. We're doing a deep dive, Greg. You're a little bit unwell this week, aren't you?
Yeah, I've been dying all week.
I've got to carry him yet again, folks. But the topic of the deep dive, it was actually going to be slightly different. And I woke up yesterday morning and I'd been cogitating about something I'd seen on, a couple of things I'd seen on social media, and I decided to adapt and improve. And I saw something on Twitter just the other day from a group of local lads, musicians in a band, and they did that particular post, the post that says, "Oh, our journey ends here. Oh, we're going to be stop making music. We're all going to be friends, and we're all going to be carrying on our individual music project, but we're no longer going to be together." And I looked at when they actually joined Twitter, and they only joined Twitter 3 years ago. And it may well be that I'm a bit of an old soak, but there was part of me that sort of thought, really, 3 years you're giving up after 3 years? And I know we always say that being a musician, in terms of your music career, it's a marathon and it's not a sprint. And you know, I was cogitating on all these things, and I was doing some research on Facebook and looking through different sort of types of videos, and a video from Billie Eilish came. Are you aware of Billie Eilish?
Yeah, allegedly she's the bad guy.
Well, I don't know. I've heard one of her songs. She is a massive worldwide pop sensor. I'm not a big pop head.
She does nothing for me, I won't lie.
Well, you know, she's very popular in her demographic, and you could argue.
I mean, when she's getting written up in Sound on Sound, it must be
exactly. She is one of the biggest pop stars in the world.
Really?
Yeah.
She's not even 20.
No. I don't think she's 17 yet.
Really?
It's something along those lines. Anyway, this particular video was like a split screen video.
Yep.
And on one half, it had footage of her from a year prior.
Right.
And on the right-hand side, it had footage of her from this current year or whatever. And in the year before, she was scrolling through her Instagram feed and she says, "I've got 500,000 Instagram followers." And on the other side, the other column, it was basically saying, "Oh, right, yeah, I've now got, 12 months later, 4 million Instagram followers." And I can imagine being a DIY musician, looking at something like that, thinking, wow, if you've managed to grow your audience from what is already a huge amount to what is an inconceivable amount in 12 months, how you might look at that and compare your own growth, development, and the growth of your own audience, thinking, why am I even bothering doing this when my growth it in no way compares to whatever she's up to?
I was going to say unencouraging, but that's not even a word.
Unencouraging will do for me. Look, you can make it's 2019. You can make up words these days.
So yeah, it does kind of make you feel, just why do I bother?
But what you've got to remember is that Billie Eilish is one of a handful of what I would deem is priority acts for the major labels. And there was an article. This is quite a few years ago now, so it's probably out of date. And in terms of the money and the spend that was quoted, it's probably a little bit underestimated. But there was a thing about 4 or 5 years ago that was saying that to break a global pop superstar, it takes something in the region of about $1 million to build up that kind of engine and publicity machine and all the marketing that goes into it.
Does that include the content?
Yes.
So that would include a music video?
Yeah, and to build this sort of this system of music and artistry and promotion and everything that goes around with it, and then to take that and do it worldwide, you're talking you're talking a seven-figure sum.
So the old six-figure record deal wouldn't even cut it anymore.
No, and obviously, if you're the artist in question, what you probably got to do is go, hang on, am I paying for all of this? And
Out of your 15%?
yeah, the answer is yes, you are. So if
on
you're
the surface, it might. Sorry to interject,
Yeah.
but so on the surface, it might look like they're raking it in, but in fact, as long as they've decided to pay themselves in advance, it's almost like literally, it's like the world's biggest student loan, isn't it?
I would imagine there's lots of money coming in, but there's also lots of money going out.
Yes.
But the amount that's being spent on marketing and promotion and audience building, that is going to be absolutely massive. And there's no, if you're trying to compare yourself to that and the speed of that acceleration, it's comparing apples and oranges. You can't necessarily do it. I mean, I'm going to throw in a couple of examples of my own career. We're playing, I think it's Nottingham later this month. And we're going to do, I think it's maybe, we'll have 400 in, maybe 450. I need to email the venue,
Excuse me.
try and get them to run a Facebook ad from their page.
Right,
To see
okay.
if they can reach their audience rather than ours. And I was looking through some old emails. I think we first played that particular venue. We've not played it every year, but we first played that venue about 10 years ago. And we probably only had 150 in. But what we've managed to do is slowly, year by year, and as I say, we haven't played it every year, is to build
It's a slow
the
burner.
audience slowly and incrementally. And the audience hasn't fallen away. It's built each and every time. And the way that you have to consider your music career is that it is slow, small, incremental steps. And if you're watching this or listening to this and you're only, I don't know, say to 20 years of age, your music career could span,
50 years.
50 years. Obviously, in terms of, everybody's health is getting better and life expectancies are getting longer. There's no rush for any of this. I know my mate Gary V goes on about this all the time. He says, you could live forever. So don't necessarily think that everything needs to be done in such a short time frame. And you should definitely have short, medium and long-term goals. But I always consider if you're a DIY artist and you've only got a modest amount of budget to invest in your career development, and I think that's probably applicable for 90% of DIY artists and musicians, your progress will be almost the equivalent of hand-to-hand combat. And as I get the odd one or two people maybe following our Twitter account still every day, I always try and tweet back to those people who've just joined and try, and it's literally, I'm communicating with each and every new fan on a one-to-one basis.
Yeah.
And all that sort of thing is going to take time and it's going to slowly build. But the idea is that it builds and it keeps building. And, we all know lots of pop acts who, dare I say, here today and gone tomorrow.
X Factor, anybody?
Yes. So yeah,
me, I really am dying.
it's all about not being discouraged.
Yep.
It's all about perspective and remembering the C word, career, and careers. There are jobs
And commitment.
but no, I meant sort of that there are jobs which take you can have a job and it might last a couple of years.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
the idea is you have a career and that's almost open-ended and it's something that goes on for decades.
I mean, you kind of keep me grounded because I'll be honest and say,
do.
I'm disappointed with the viewing figures for all of these videos. I was hoping we would have more, but I realise, I think we all want a shortcut to the end, don't we?
It's a marathon, not a sprint. And the thing is, you realise that you do incrementally get better and better. I mean, I would hate to listen or look to the first couple of episodes of this particular show when we were still sort of figuring out exactly what it is and how it's going to be. And in terms of my knowledge and skill set in terms of marketing, that's developing and increasing all the time. And there will be different things and different platforms to advertise on. So it's always going to be a new challenge. It's always going to keep me on my toes. But it's something that will take time. It will move forward. And to a certain degree, I enjoy the challenge.
Well, that's it. Each little step forward it's just, I think, it feels like a massive reward because it's so much harder to get.
And what I think we'll do on next week's episode, which will be a full 30-minute music marketing, is, okay, if you've reached that stage whereby maybe you've been at this for a couple of years and things aren't going as you like, maybe you aren't progressing in your music career maybe as quickly as you want to, or maybe you are literally stuck, you're getting absolutely nowhere no matter maybe what you potentially try, rather than give it up, what are the things that you should look at to maybe break through
Change?
that impasse? Well,
Or-
that's some of the things we're
Okay.
going to we're going to look at, because I think that's quite important, because that people aren't discouraged to but things do need to change. So we'll have a look at how you can, maybe in terms of marketing or just overall music and career development, what are the things that you might need to look at in order to keep on going.
So, there you go. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
It is indeed, and that's this week's deep dive. Thanks very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this, why not leave a comment if there's something that you'd like us to comment upon in a future show. Please stick it in the YouTube box or a Facebook comment, or send us an email on the website, which I'm sure you're keeping up to date, Greg.
Yes, I am. In the words of Peter Gabriel, don't give up.
No, indeed. Thanks very much for watching, and from myself and Greg, we will see you next time.
See you soon.
See you
Bye-bye.
later.